Once you get into your final year, it's very much about developing your skills and being much more focused. So I'm writing my dissertation at the moment, and also you do modules that are very focused. So one of my modules is about the English Civil War, and it's just a 20-year period, and it's about a really intense study. So you start with an overview and sort of narrow it down until you're studying something really intensely and with great fine attention to detail by the end of your degree.
In final year, I decided to take a module called Radicalism in the English Revolution, and this was kind of like the pinnacle of everything I've studied at Warwick so far. So I'd studied Europe in the making, I'd studied the British problem, and now I was looking at specifics in the English Civil War, so the 1640s. And what I really enjoy about this module so far is that it's being taught by an expert in his field, and it just makes the course so much more vibrant. The discussions in our seminars are just so electric.
So my favourite module this year is the Foreign Bodies module. I really like this module because of the range of topics we get to study. It's very broad. So this year so far we've studied migration into America. So we've looked at Ellis Island and Angel Island and the different migrants that come from all different countries in Europe and in Asia to America.
So my favourite module so far in my final year has been the medicine, empire and the body. You have to understand why were these people interacting in the first place, and that's the geopolitics. How were they interacting, which is often where militarism comes in, unfortunately. But then, of course, what they thought of each other, which is where the biology and anthropology comes in.
So one of my favourite modules in my final year is a module I'm doing at the moment called The History of the Tavern, which is all about tavern and alcohol and drinking history. And I really enjoy this because you don't stop and think about that, about how food and drink history affects the way people interact and socialise, and how that affects politics and changes in society. And that's actually really important, but something I'd never stopped to think about. And even now, during the entirety of my degree and in my final year, I'm still finding new things and new ways to engage with my subject.
So one of the modules I'm really enjoying at the moment is Feminism, Politics and Social Change in Modern Britain. I really like this module because I've never been able to study feminist history before, and it's something I find personally very interesting. So for example, for this week I read all about the birth control movement in Britain and how that originated and progressed.
The history of the Latin American drug trade, and it's a final year module. You study the sort of politics and sociology, and you know, it's very multidisciplinary about like all of the issues around the drug trade, and I really like it because it's, you know, quite outside the sort of Eurocentric focus of a lot of courses, and at Warwick we get to like look at lots of different world histories. So when you get into third year, all history students have to take a dissertation, which counts for a quarter of your final year. So in the first few weeks you're given a lot of preparatory kind of lectures about how to approach your dissertation and kind of finalising what you want to do it on. So you have to link your dissertation to one of your either second or third year modules. Once you've kind of got your dissertation tutor that you're paired up with by the department, you go for meetings with them and they kind of help you, steer you in the right direction, give you primary sources, engage with secondary literature with you, and kind of give you the right path to take.